What existed when you were a kid that doesn't exist now? Front bench seats in a car. Restaurant smoking sections. 9 planets. Bugs. Internet that came on a disc. Getting off the phone so someone can use the internet. Ha! The Twin Towers. Waiting all night to record your favorite song on cassette tape. Circuit City. 8-track tapes and rotary dial phones. Videotapes. Blockbuster. Gas less than $1 a gallon. The Crocodile Hunter. A lot more frogs. Dramatic difference over the last 40 years. Proper video game arcades packed wall to wall with machines, dark, and loud rock music playing. Damn, I miss those. Kmart cafeteria. Those rusty, metal merry-go-rounds at the park that killed almost all of us at one point. My sanity. How not to cry while cutting onion. Don't have a relationship with the onion. Put a damp paper towel nearby to attract the vapors or swimming goggles. Step 1, try not to cry. Step 2, cry. Cry hard and cry a lot. Chewing gum. Sharpen your knife. Sharpen your knives. Great thing to know how to do. And if you're real bad about the onion crying, then freeze them for 10-20 minutes before you cut them. But always cut them with a sharp knife. That crying gas is an aerosol. If you bludgeon it, it releases way more. Put shades on. Be a man and cry. Put them in the freezer for 5 or 10 minutes. Store them in the refrigerator. Source Food Detectives. Leave the butt on. Onion goggles. Those safety goggles used in science class. If you have access to a walk-in refrigerator, do it in there. Or do it outside if it's cold out. I heard that lighting a candle and placing it near you while cutting onions helps. What do you immediately judge as trashy? Littering. Parents who don't discipline their kids at all. People proclaiming they have haters. People with zero manners and no self-awareness. Like when you're walking past a group of people that are taking up the entire sidewalk and they all just expect you to be the one to move out of the way. Or when someone gets irrationally angry at a fast food retail worker for a simple mistake. People screaming at their kids or significant others in public. Parents smoking around their small children. People who stand in line with FaceTime on speakerphone. People with young kids who aren't paying attention to them in public and letting them do whatever. People who leave their dogs outside all day. Dogs that bark and howl constantly. People who watch videos with sound on in public places like doctors' offices. People just yelling at their kids for the smallest things, hitting them too. People who walk around with their phones on speaker. What is a clear sign a movie sucks? I had a classmate in college named Andre. He was a great person and fun to be around, but the movie sucks if Andre picks it. The movie would never be so bad it's good. No, his picks simply sucked. Everybody has a talent. We're 20 minutes in and you don't care what happens to any of the characters. Edit. Thanks for the award. Too many celebrities cliches. When it's so dark you can't see anything. Sequel without the original cast. You start making fun of the character's logic not even 10 minutes into the film. Frank Capra had a great quote for my answer. There are no rules in filmmaking, only sins. And the cardinal sin is dullness. If they add a random controversial issue that has nothing to do with the plot. What are some workplace red flags that scream don't work here? Everyone you meet has been working there less than 2 years and it isn't a startup. If all of the other employees look sullen and depressed. If you walk into the office area and feel like you've walked into a funeral service. Nobody's smiling, nobody's laughing. Nobody looks remotely happy or content. Just turn around and walk back to your car. That is not a good place to be working at. When your initial interview doesn't start on time, and you're waiting. They don't respect your time. Which essentially means they don't respect their workers. The hiring manager who brought you in quit. I had a job interview a long time ago where I asked if there was any office dress code. The response I got was, just try not to wear your gang colors all the time. A super low retention rate. Any place that's had multiple managers over a short period of time is a red flag. How much do someone's political views matter when it comes to casual dating and why? What's the difference between casual dating and dating? We don't need to share every single belief, but we do need to share the same values and worldview. I see a lot of debate around American politics on this post. Lol. Seriously though, if someone has fundamental beliefs which would impact the way you live, the way you'd raise children or views on whether or not they'll have any, the role different people have in society and basically any life choice, it's better to know that your beliefs are incompatible while it's still casual. Relationships require compromise to work, but we all have things we will not compromise. There are some political opinions that can turn very ugly very quickly, if something goes wrong while casually dating. Abortion rights aren't something that's particularly safe to disagree about in a sexual relationship, even a casual dating one. What are your best fighting tips? Run, and if you have to fight, don't play fair. Protect your head. I'm assuming that you didn't start the fight, are in self-defense mode, and the best option of avoiding the fight altogether is not an option. Go with the mentality that there are no rules, at all. Use any and all tools, resources, dirty tricks to end the fight as fast and decidedly as possible. No rules in a street fight. If there's more than one, you'll lose. Best thing you can do is choose one of them and ruin his day in particular. Judge your enemy well, know your limits. And if you need to, leave to fight another day, under better circumstances. Americans of Reddit: what would you do if the United States were invaded? Get Florida man hopped up on bath salts and let him run rampant through the enemy lines. It'd be like watching a crazed Wendigo tear people limb from limb. Watch all the tax dollars I have paid for the past 20 years go to work. We'd still be going to work, because when it's over, rent is still due at the first of the month and food doesn't buy itself. Probably work from home that day, traffic would be a bitch. So anyway, I started blastin'. If it's advanced interglacial aliens? Get blasted I guess. If it's another country? Watch my taxes go to work. Rudy Tooty point and shooty. I just hope both sides have fun out there. I know I'm probably a little biased here, but we're essentially defended on both sides by mountains and angry rednecks who have spent multiple generations hoping and praying someone would be dumb enough to attack. Continue with my day. It would last about 7 minutes. What are you fucking sick of? Ads. Littering. It's pure laziness. Put it in your pocket, bag, whatever, just bin it when you can. Being drowsy all the fucking time. Surviving instead of thriving. Political ads. People treating each other like shit. The price of rent being too goddamn high. My mind making me feel guilty about making big purchases. Verbal abuse. I'm a veterinary nurse at a charity practice and we all get shouted at and outright threatened far too often, despite treatment being free. Cleaning this fucking apartment. It's just dishes, vacuuming, laundry, etc. every single day forever. Not being able to socialize and missing out on every good thing in person out there. Edit: if you've left a comment giving advice or just relating to me, just know I have read every single one. I am just overthinking all my replies. Thanks very much. So hikers of Reddit, what is the strangest things you've seen on the trails? A man resembling Santa wearing nothing but granny panties. In a swamp in Florida I found a picture of a high school age girl looked like a graduation picture stabbed into the ground by a kitchen knife and surrounded by black candles. Also had an old naked barefoot hippie lady come jogging up a mountain past me on the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina. On the way down a small mountain hike with some friends we spot another hiker alone coming up the trail towards us. When we get in talking range he says, "You all want to see this cool dance?" Then proceeded to do the Rick and Morty Get Swifty song. Full squatting down and everything. Stand straight and said, "Have a good trip and stay safe," then keeps walking. Never seen anything more strange on a hike. Male Redditors: would you date a single mom? Why or why not? I dated a single mom for a while. 2 kids, ages 2 and 6. Broke up because, well, she wasn't really a good mom. She let her mother, the children's grandmother, basically do everything and she was very hands-off. I just couldn't be around that situation. Felt bad for the kids, but at least the grandma seemed to be doing a decent job. Nope, definitely not ready for a kid. I dated a woman with kids once and swore to never do it again. I stayed with her longer than I should have because I loved the kids even long after I knew it wasn't working with the mother. Breaking up with the kids was harder than breaking up with her. Depends. Does she have extra fruit snacks for me? What did you survive? Both parents in hospice together. I watched my father die, then 3 weeks later, held my mother in my arms when she died. Pooped my pants at the mall. The great toilet paper crisis of 2020. My birth. I decided to pop out early, so I had to spend some time in one of those baby aquariums. My suicide attempts: sadly, cancer, an abduction, an attempted murder. He planned to kill me but I escaped before his accomplice got there, and a mile walk out of the woods barefoot and mostly naked. I was 14, a severe cocaine addiction, a ruptured ectopic pregnancy that caused a lot of internal bleeding. What celebrity downfall did you actually feel bad for? Jake Lloyd. I was reading into what happened to him after watching Jingle All the Way and recognizing him as a young Anakin Skywalker. Apparently Hollywood and the Star Wars franchise in particular, really got to him, and he wound up being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. It's a shame learning of these unfortunate stories concerning child actors. You can't help but want to root for them, but the reality of their situation is often disappointing. 100 Brendan Fraser. He was sexually assaulted, tried to bring it to light, and Hollywood cast him out for it. Couldn't get acting roles for many years. Editors need to add that the person who assaulted him was a Hollywood executive. In your opinion, what is just absolute bullshit? Fact that child predators get off with less time than people with narcotics charges. Car features you have to unlock via subscription. Lol. A male cow's feces. Every time I get killed in an FPS game. The alpha male stuff. Ticketmaster fees. Politics. Judges that give very loved and cared for foster children back to their loser parents. Animal cruelty. The entire U.S. healthcare system. Religious extremism. It has killed more than alcohol, and yet these extremist scholars ban alcohol because it's somehow worse than the gossip they spread. Most of what televangelists preach. Not just Christians either. School shootings, American politics. The reality that we as individuals are only alive because someone hasn't chosen to kill us and we're powerless to stop it. Our justice system, religion, gambling. Fuck gambling. Corporate tell you they care. Corporate tell you what is best done naked. Taking a shower. It's never completely done. Swimming. Being birthed. Attending family reunions. Frying bacon. Grocery shopping. Freeze up the checkout lines very quickly. Photosynthesis. Saunas. Sleeping. Change my mind. Welding. Taking a dump. Showering. Public speaking. Fighting. I rather not share what first came into my mind, but taking a shower. Driving. Tried it a couple of times. Very liberating. Getting dressed. Ops mom. Not sleepwalk outside in the city. High school graduation. Frying bacon. Playing ping pong. Seriously. Riding the subway to Coney Island. Sleep. Sleeping in the nude is the best way to sleep. Sex. Cuddling. Murder. Sleep. What isn't? Party face. Sexual harassment speech. Not ironing your clothes. Sleeping. Sleeping face. Swimming. Getting dressed. Swimming. What famous person is actually pretty talentless? Pretty much most influencers. Those TikTokers that have almost 100 mil followers for fucking dancing. Brooklyn Beckham. Big Ed. Hell, he's so untalented. He's famous for his lack of relationship skills, self-awareness. Brendan Schaub. 699. His freestyles are so bad it is crazy. I heard a kid say Charli D'Amelio is the best celebrity. Steven Seagal. We the best music. Kylie Jenner. Kardashians by far. Piers Morgan is an absolute talentless cunt who, as editor of a shit rag newspaper, hacked the phone of a dead child, Millie Dowler, and made her parents think she was alive. What a lovely guy. Joe Bastianich, from MasterChef. He's a businessman, not a chef. The way he talks down to the contestants is disgusting considering he can only cook one style of food. DJ Khaled. Redditors making $100,000 or more. What do you do that make you earn more than $100,000 a year, and how long did it take you to get there? Doctor. I'm finishing up residency, so I'm making around $70,000 a year, but I've been interviewing for jobs and expected salary would range from $280,000 to $350,000 with bonuses depending on work efficiency. Overall, took 4 years of undergraduate, 1 gap year doing research, 4 years of medical school, 3 years of residency. 12 years total starting from undergraduate. Now if I could just get rid of the $500,000 in student loans. What are we no longer in the golden age of? Comedy movies. Honestly, what's the last blockbuster comedy movie you saw in a packed theater? Streaming. There was a blissful 10 years where basically everything was on 1 or 2 platforms. Now we've more or less reinvented television with the fracturing of media platforms, but on demand, which is still an improvement, but come on, it was so nice for a while there. The old OG App Store games. Now we have false advertisements for the current App Store games. Edit: I didn't expect this to blow up. Thank you stranger for my first ever silver ownership. I feel like we all just rent, borrow, stream, digital download, or straight up just consume and rebuy low quality products. Edit: thanks for the awards. And I'm real happy to see so many people just as PO as me at this. Radio. Journalism. People who rev up their vehicles loudly. What do you enjoy about it? The vibrations on my ass make me ejaculate. South Park Season 13 Episode 12. I have to, or my piece of shit will overheat. Sorry. X200B. The actual answer: loud and powerful car nose makes brain release happy chemicals. Daytime. Idg. But at night? I hope whoever does it around PPLS houses their car blow the FK up. It's for your inner caveman. But if you do it in a crowded area or where people are trying to have conversations, then you're just a douche. The passive aggression. For some car lovers, the purr of an engine is like a sweet song. The stu-tu-tu-tu-tu. Every time I hear someone do it, I think, man, that person is so cool and awesome. I wish I was them instead of trying to sleep at 0317. I like that when they hear it, people for miles around think to themselves, man, that guy must have a huge dick. People who like Andrew Tate. Why? 90 of these comments gonna be from people who don't like or aren't followers of Andrew Tate. Edit 99.99. Edit 99.999999999999999999. This seems like a sort by controversial kinda situation. This question is addressed to people who like Andrew Tate, and the top 10 top comments are people who don't like Andrew Tate. Curious if anyone ever watched Big Brother when he was on it. Clashed with the most explosive person in that series and she took him on from the very first night? It was amazing that he was taken on. She was having none of his shit. He was removed after around a week because reports surfaced that he had done something illegal outside of the house. I wanna know this, so please people do not downvote them. Vote them. Vote.